can watch 2 years then at the same time.
I'm sitting here.
Right. I can watch the 2 years. You going into the Harry Gordon next week?
Yes. Yes.
You're not playing in it.
You know.
Helen and knocking somebody out. And then trying to say, well, I can't go
I heard you open the sweeties. What's going on?
There you go, Bruno. Get yourself there.
You all right?
I'm doing fine. Very short. Alright, side they're in. I don't know who they're playing. Who's that?
Glasgow.
Who was it?
Don't know. John. Right. I'm good. Only good at by the sea.
I'm bad.
Not on the tissue of putting in there. I was talking to him, I was down there, the wee Derek or Danny Green's over in Hawks Hall and that, and we popped in here to watch the junior singles the other day. And I met Johnny round the back watching the boys play. So I Campbelltown were on.
Wednesday. Oh well, then they ended up over here. Coming over. Coming? No. He's ready to go to him.
No, I've seen it. I'm not even doing tuning it next week for the first time in my life. I retired in March, so I scored about a time about myself. He's playing it. Yes.
Who let you in here? Who let you in?
I smuggled in. You know, he came down there with John.
What's John playing?
He's leading the fours. He's playing the pieces. He went to that, he joined the pot. So he's in the replay. I mean, that's the one right to you over there.
I've been just come up here marketing and then my last week is this afternoon. I'm carrying tomorrow.
I'll not be giving back. I'm doing the deal, but
Stevie's on right four.
Stevie on 4. I've only watched about Stevie's game.
Very interesting.
Oh, Jesus, I. Robert, he's on his back then.
Aye, I speak to him.
Aye, I'm in when the you back. You're on the competition. I said, well, wait, see how you need that back. Aye, but a phone to do the Arsenal to play already.
I got all my ties done before I came here. Everything, so 2 finals and 2 semis.
I played a semi-final the other day. Well, I'm in the final of the seniors, and I'm waiting in the quarterfinal. So 2 ties, 2 is the quarterfinal. Well, I chased that. I've been holding 3 ties, so don't bring it away.
Robert did say he was quite famous when he was off that way, but I don't know this one. Tell me. So many stories.
As far as I know, Derek told me this morning, we shook hands here yesterday. That's it. Bye. They can't come back until 26 season of 2027. What's happening now is 7 clubs, there's 12 clubs association, 7 clubs is the majority. The 7 clubs that are meeting amongst themselves have decided in a layer the good at Pat were involved in it, Lady Alice were involved in it, Gowan were involved in it, Glasgow were involved in it, Grumner were involved in it, 5 clubs were involved in it. Didn't know a thing about it. Went to a meeting because Stephen McLaren was at the time, so we went to meet and by the way, I've been handing the letter just prior to this meeting starting. I asked us to call your association and it was the association and the association. So I told them that practice right at the back of the list. Another letter in saying No, this is right, Davey. This is he's not going very well. Shout out, how do you like so? Greenslet, Upper Cowal, who would he say about you? Because he's slagging us for greens. Vociferous in his actions and all that. No, not David Stevie. None of David Stevie, that man, David Stevie. That Indo, the Indo, Derek told me, no, somebody told me later on, the Indo last year. What do you call him? He threw a ball and the boy in Stevie's link. He didn't walk back, he walked in a couple of the ball, hit Stevie's rank, and I hit that guy in it. Stevie's club in the ankle. Did you watch what you're doing? Watch it right? I'm not doing you. Somebody in your team should have been shouting at me and bothering me. So, I didn't get that up. Cut a whole other head in about it. Then the Rogan doing the road and thinking and doing it at the ferry. So I'm not on the ferry and it's in the shop. You hear that Stevie doing what you do? So what do you know? You're happy you're doing it. I'm phone to phone Stevie. I'm doing it. Nothing to do it at all. They were fishing and Hamilton was explaining his Bobby Davey and Chris. We're high-fiving each other. Oh, well done. Look, we're all against you. Shit. And Bobby says, you keep watching Hamilton. Bobby just came out and take a boot out. I've never seen it again, but we he says, I better watch it. He says, court the size of this, no. It's just a wee park. He's in there. I did last night, last night, I walked in the next one, that's big. I mean, the best player is on the guys that have but they've just tried, this is a history of it. No, there's no league, they've done it, the league is expanded. Well, the league just got 3 games to go. Good at parts, that's a kind of remember the build-up and the big place here, this is up. Obviously, they're an individual. That's not just some members of the outstanding goals. So that's not right. You're not back on that. You said to them, look, no, you're not back on that. So all the who was given really, should be upset. So that's what happened. Not Stevie. That was nothing to do with it. That was indoor stuff. Seemingly, then it goes in the morning.
Good afternoon and welcome to the National Centre for Bowling at Ayr Northfield for Day 7 of the 2025 Bowl Scotland National Championship. For the 12 o'clock session, if the umpires have checked and passed your bowls, you may now commence your trial ends. Best wishes to all players and teams on their journey to become national champions.
Good afternoon and welcome back to live coverage of the 2025 Bowl Scotland National Championships from the National Centre for Bowling in Ayr. Plenty of action still to come this week on the Bowl Scotland YouTube channel and Facebook page. The next live match is a ladies pairs last 8 match, third round tie as they get towards the business end. Busy all day around these parts, gents and ladies singles, pairs, triples, all going on, gents and ladies fours as well. So it's busy all day across all 5 greens here at the National Bowling Centre. We are on rink A, where we will see a pairs tie between Upper Cowal and Spateston. We'll let you watch the trial ends as they unfold, and I will be back with full coverage.
Okay, what is he?
get bumped again.
Likes to see that.
Oh.
Taylor. What's this? Change one.
Oh, right.
Well, the Bears National Championships are on the line here. There's the final 8 Upper Cowal. Eilich Simpson and Helen McVicar up against Lorraine Tait and Pauline Harper of Spateston from Johnston. Glad you've joined us for this one. And just a note, the final game of the afternoon has been confirmed by Megan Sport against Abby Harris in the ladies singles. The last 8, I'll tell you what, I think they've picked a good one in that.
Yeah, what a game that promises to be. Two up and coming young stars of the game. Megan, the holder of the under 25 singles, unfortunately lost earlier in the week, and Abby, very recently crowned British Isles under 18 ladies singles winner. So yeah, two talented youngsters. That'll be the game that we'll see later this afternoon.
First couple of balls just a little bit strong at this length. Time to take the weight off.
Yeah, for sure. And at this level, nobody wants to see that with their first 2 balls going in the ditch.
The orange balls of Lorraine Tait leading for the Spateston pair. I'm just struggling with the weight. I think that may have just stayed on.
Just pulling up a bit short on the backhand side. Switch now.
Well, that's the old story. You're better being through from the skip's point of view, not too much to give you at this stage, but the opening end, players trying to feel their way into this one in terms of the weight. It should be tight.
Well, that may not have got punished as much as perhaps we thought, so a good weight. I'm sure an adjustment online will see both players settle in on this rink.
Just apologising to our skip, but I mean, if you're the skip, you'd rather your lead was missing in behind to start with. Helen McVicar. We're looking to get in early. 4 balls per player, 17 ends. And these national championship pairs. See, it's about as windy as it's been all week. The scoreboard behind, the players just moving around.
This is down on a good track. It's a pretty reasonable weight. Here's your weight. Maybe a touch unfortunate just to get the wrong side of the red stickered bowl. So it's Upper Cowal who hold one and a chance to add another.
Looks under the line.
This is also down on a pretty good line. It's just going to get snarled in the front.
Well, that nearly brought an unintentional result. Well, 2-second shots in there. That's what we'll be hoping for. Perhaps then attack the ball.
Yeah, just needs to be a little bit cautious. Does not want to push that jack through to the back of the rink.
Well, there is movement.
Well,
I think that's going the right way as well.
I think it has, yeah.
So it suddenly changes things.
Yeah. 1 to blue.
So it was a change with the last ball. That always makes the skip feel better. Pauline Harper playing the shot, getting a little nudge. I mean, it was fraught with danger.
Yeah, it was. It was worth playing. I think she'd have been maybe a bit unlucky if she'd caught the jack a bit fuller and pushed it through to the back of the rink. Her own probably would have followed it some distance. So calculated risk perhaps, but it's yielded the shot. He'll be happy to get on the card.
Forehand for Eilich Simpson.
Sent it down a nice line, just lacking a little bit of weight. See this one dive across the head as well, I think.
Well, certainly no great reason to change hands, so inside track.
Yeah, quite a nice adjustment in weight. Just missing the line by a fraction, but we'll be happy to hold the upper hand in this end so far. The run again, and she'll add another shot. Well played. This is the better line. Just overplayed it. Great chance to add another. Down the same side, just needs to be slightly cautious of the front orange ball, doesn't want to turn that in, but she's played it on the wide side. Yeah, she's going to a good home. Helen will be quite happy with that, back in that position.
Good advantage here. Always in pairs with a potential score of 8. You're to see if you can nick an early big score before your opponents settle.
It's one of those heads, this Paul, isn't it? You know, it's the temptation is to be up, and the risk is, of course, that there's plenty gaps to go through, and you could sail through there, and your opponents just keep adding and adding and adding.
That's not badly played.
Yeah, nicely done. You would think that stops the opportunity of a huge count. Helen not taking advantage of the situation, so another chance for Pauline. Just an adjustment on line. Almost a nice edge off the front bowl, but just pulling up that bit short. Just drifting under.
Doesn't want to knock that one too far.
Yeah, I think they were holding 2. That looks as if it's just been cut to 1. Pauline's picked this is the best line of the 3 bowls so far. And as she runs, she's drawn the shot.
That's close.
So, best line from Helen. Just needs to be clear. She's not, so Pauline with her last bowl coming up. She'll stick with that hand. An opportunity to turn her own or just move the jack a couple of feet to her back bowl. There's an outside chance if she plays the slightly outside line to take the red bowl on the right hand side through the head for a count of 4, but she's under the line.
Although
Good afternoon and welcome to the National Centre for Bowling at Ayr Northfield for day 7 of the 2025 All Scotland National Championships. For the 12:30 session, if the umpires object to pass your bowls, you may now commence your try-line. Best wishes to all players and teams on their journey to become national champions. National champions.
one out.
One conceded. Umpire called, I think.
It'll just be one. So again, Pauline Harper affecting the outcome.
Just watching a replay of this, she's held her hand up, understands she's well under the line, and then that fortuitous flick off the front bowl yielded the shot. Now you can see Pauline trying to dictate the length there, and her lead is 3 or more yards short of the distance she would have wanted.
First series of matches today, where the gents and ladies singles will run you through the score lines for them and set up the quarter-finals. Dumbarton's Michael Keenan beat Thornhill's Robert Lenza 21-18. Airdrie's John Barry won a tight battle with Castle's Graham Marshall 21-16. Churnside's Jamie Mitchell 21-4 winner over John Mackay of Whitehall. Ian McLean of Blackwood Victoria, current champion, looking to become the first man to win this 4 times, beat Fairfield's Craig McAnally 21-13. Ellen's Robert Marshall 21-3 over Leslie's Ian Drysdale. Good win for Drummoyne's Ryan Langdon 21-7 over Kevin Frogley of Borston. And Tanfield's Liam Mackay 21-11 winners over Christopher Stein of Windigates and Duryvale. And finally Buchan Park Stephen Fleming, the match you may have seen earlier with us, beat Anbang's Ian Conley 21-15. These quarter-final matches will take place at 3:30 today. And during the next end we'll run you through the ladies' singles. Coming in nicely.
Well, some pretty scrappy stuff, but it's Upper Cowal who hold the position in the head, currently holding 3 shots.
Ideally, we'd like to come behind.
Both skips picking quite narrow lines into the jack on that hand that we've becoming used to, which, you know, has a good swing on it. Narrow again.
Well, if you're Helen McVicar, you just want to add another one in here, preferably coming behind, but
Yeah, she'll be disappointed if she doesn't, and she's got 4 feet, I would suggest, to add. Yeah, she has. Right. Pauline needs to be a bit braver and send this out on a wider line, dropping inside the front bowl with the red sticker and hopefully catching the inside line on the other side. She's just wide.
well, she's relied on her last ball a couple of times.
Yeah, I think if Helen gets a stop on the ball, she will add another shot here. Wow.
It's actually not a bad position to be in, just in case.
Now, if Pauline can actually repeat her last delivery, I don't think she'll be far away from drawing the shot. Well, she's giving it a chance. I think that gap is just going to catch her, is it? No. Well, she's cut it down.
A rough guess, it could be 3.
Yeah, it definitely looks like 3 to me. I think Helen just needs to be a little bit cautious. Safer shots on the forehand that she's elected to play. Good weight. She'll drop inside the orange one on the front, but just holding off.
Upper Cowal go on the card. There's 1. There's 3. Don't think there's any more than that. 3 shots. Well, bright start to the game for Eilich Simpson. She's certainly out battling Lorraine Tait Pauline Harper. A couple of good saving balls to earn shots. Promised you the ladies' singles results from this morning. Murray's Sandra Dean defeating Seafield's Susan Murray 21-10. Dumbarton's Emma McLeod knocking out Baylison's Laura Welsh 21-18. Isabel Bullock from Raploch safely through 21-13 against Cardonal's Jess Weir. Success, although it was tight, for Gilmerton's Emma Mitchell 21-19 winner over Broxmoor's Claire Wilson. Barton and Calvin Heights Linda Fleming 21-9 over Stirling's Lauren McGowan. Busby's Emma Fry 21-14 winner over Jessica Young of Craig and Tinney. That's a good win. And Lakeside of Kilburney's Megan Sprott, who we'll see in action later today, 21-17 winner against Larbott's Sienna Black. And she'll be facing Ralston's Abby Harris, who squeaked past Newton Moore's Judith Hay 21-19. As I mentioned, our featured match will be Megan Sprott against Abby Harris, and we'll keep you across the other quarterfinals as well.
So both players switching to the ditch side in this direction. Rather nicely weighted ball from Eilich, but just missed the line on the wide side. Don't think Lorraine's corrected the line here, just also going under the head.
Added on that extra weight. Again, all the balls tailing down the side. This is down on a good track. How's your running? Pity. Just need a yard further. It's the jack. Boom. Changes everything.
What a super reply.
Certainly much better from both.
Choosing to play something very similar to her first. Needs to run. Any contact? Does. Yeah, well done. Well done. Again, choice of shots now for Helen. She can play exactly the same bowl as she played the last time, or she could have elected to go to the other side. Can she get a clear run? Oh, unlucky. Unlucky. I feel this is quite tricky for Pauline to play to now. I think the pathway is potentially blocked on the side that she's played previously. And if we're honest, it doesn't look that great down the other side either, but she's going to have to try and find a pathway through.
Being attacked by something as well. A little fly.
Quite hard to see what she's trying to achieve down this side. Well, I think that gives Helen an opportunity. She'll want to come down the ditch side if she can. She'll want to come down between the bowls in the front and try and remove that blue one from the head. Has she got enough weight?
Just giving it a try, you know.
Yeah, very unlucky. Just got caught up in the front. That tiny flick just took her off the bowl.
Our toucher is live in the ditch. I'm fairly sure it's one blue.
Yeah, I think she'll probably play the wide draw on the backhand side. Just hope to fade in out in new ground out there, so she won't quite know how the bowl's going to react. It'll run quite straight for a long time, I feel, and then maybe just get a little bit of a draw in the last 5 or 6 feet. So she'll be looking to come round the pack inside the orange wide one that you see to the bottom right hand side of the picture. Just on the wide side, weight probably dragged it out there. So one shot to blue, and we have a tied game.
It's been a good opening for Lorraine Tait, finding her length. Conversely, Eilich a little bit loose.
Just unable to repeat the dose of the first two bowls there. Picked a great weight again, to be fair, just very much missed the line. This is down on a better track. Swinging away wildly. Yeah, Pauline will be happy with that. Ball two, good back position. This runs, it's got a great chance. Well, regardless, they'll be happy to have one in and around the area. A nice opportunity to lift their own, drop underneath with the bowl or the jack. Lots of play in that forehand side.
I guess what we're looking for from the game is just a little bit more consistency from the leads to try and set up opportunities and shots for the skips. It's been pretty tight so far.
Pauline also with a choice in terms of her play. Looks like she may come down the ditch side of the rink. Just try and change the shape a little. Just wants to rock that one over if she can. Great try.
Giving us a chance chasing in.
Yeah, she's been unlucky because she's now changed the shape of the head. It's now not as easy to play to. Pauline can tuck this jack just round the corner to the left hand side. She's going to make it very difficult to get to. Not running. Yeah, you feel Helen's got to go back to the dead draw. The ditch side, the right hand side, as we look back down the rink.
A little on the heavy side. Waving it round.
Hasn't corrected much from her previous delivery, so another chance for Pauline just to tidy this up a little. Better line, how's your weight? Also, fraction overplayed.
Almost the same ball.
Good grouping, just in the wrong place.
And the overall result is 2 shots.
A couple of scores in the ladies' pairs, the ones that started at 12 o'clock. Obviously there's a game that you're watching, so Spateston hold the upper hand, come in a bit quicker, won't they? Let's just sprint in.
Run quicker.
Yeah. So I'll give you the gents' fours as well. So there's 4 games going on at the minute. Up on green B, Mackenzie and Port Seaton are taking on Carrick now. Mackenzie have opened the brighter and lead 3 shots to 1. On the next rink, Deantown are leading Port Glasgow by 6 shots to 3. St Athens from the north are leading Quarter by 4 shots to 3, and in the final game, Castle Douglas lead Stonyburn Community by 6 shots to 2.
Confess I've never heard of a club called Quarter before. Though apparently they split up quite nicely.
Make a good 4.
Indeed. I would hope it's a club with 4 greens, just, you know, that would be nice.
It's probably enough of the dad jokes, really, isn't it? I want to take a guess where St Athens is.
I've got absolutely no idea. I do smile at some of the names of the bowling clubs because some are very familiar, and others simply, I would have no guess where that is.
It's Burkhead, District 2.
Need to narrow it down a bit.
Oh, well, somewhere near Elgin.
That'll
Does that work?
That works for me.
Michael Stepney's home club, if you
I do know Michael
Michael?
Stepney, yeah. Solid player. Come on to a game. There's Lorraine Tait. This one's just going to track through.
Free draw for Helen to add. Just overplayed it again, I think.
Just a whisker too heavy. So one to Upper Cowal. McVicar saying, change your hand. I think it's not a bad call. There's Lorraine Tait. Stands very far up and right on the corner of the mat. Gets away really quickly. Yeah, again, I think this is the right call. Everybody bowls differently, and you can see there Lorraine Tait brings the back foot up very, very quickly. It's just hovering over the very edge of the mat as she delivers. Well, I'm not convinced I'd want to be subject to VAR on that.
Yeah, me neither. I can see the question on the stream being asked around the livery and the potential foot fault, but it's a close call, I think, and I think provided the player's not trying to gain an unfair advantage, then it's maybe something that the umpires wouldn't get involved in. Not one for us to determine.
No, but when throughout the course of games we look at the delivery styles of all the players, comment on them, some more traditional than others. Against that, could borrow that.
Dear. Yeah, I think she was carrying quite a lot of pace. Got that ball quite thick, and you can see how much it still ran on.
Yeah.
Decent line. Decent looking pace.
First shot.
And the crowd goes wild.
So often happens with games of pairs or triples. You're watching across the green, usually for when the head is coming to its climax, so you can watch across several games. Again, pace, that might nick inside.
Yeah, I think it's just a repeat of the previous delivery. Draw another shot. You can easily see how, with a couple of decent bowls, how this could develop into a bit of a count. But missed the line.
All part of the game. There's the right communication, good work from the lead. Communicate any answers to questions from the skip. Fair few blue balls or blue stickered balls waiting should this be dragged through, but it's not there.
Yeah, so often the case. You know, in there's a nice chance there for Pauline if she were, with that last one to come and pick the jack up. She could yield a count of 2 or 3.
Don't want to do it for them.
Well, she very nearly gave that away. Looks like a 3. Or maybe the camera angle is against us.
Well, it's certainly close.
Just quickly go to an umpire. You would think.
Yep. Easiest thing to do. Let's be honest, Colin, we've all played alongside players that are either absolutely on it when it comes to shots, and they've got a reputation if they look and say, and then we've played with other guys and you think, yeah, you wouldn't trust them to measure your house for a carpet, would you?
No, I wouldn't either. I don't have a great eye for these things, so I would be inclined to measure quickly and just get it over with. You could look at it all day. But you're right, there are some players and there are some umpires who have very good eyes for this type of thing. Gosh,
that's way shorter than I expected.
well, I think that shows you the kind of the depth of the camera angles here, doesn't it?
Yeah, I fancied that the black ball, which is closest to us, would be in, but it wasn't. Feels at 5. Well, as a rogue ball has appeared, I think it does belong to next door. And like any good neighbour, you pop it back. Well, I think it came loose from next door. It's been returned. I'm saying that a ball got loose. I'm not sure that's the case.
No, I think Helen played the last ball of that end, and they scored in the previous end. So Pauline should have had the last ball. I think she's forgotten to play her last ball. How bizarre!
Yes, that is certainly a little bit unusual.
Don't see that very often.
I just wondered if a ball had split from the rink next door and she was returning, but she certainly was a black ball. Actually did look like the style of her ball.
So we may have got that wrong, of course, and if anybody saw that differently, please drop a message in the live stream chat, and we'll see if we can work it out.
Of course, it could just be sheer gallousness to say, it doesn't matter, get it next time.
I'm not sure she'd have said that if she had dropped the 3 after that measure, to be fair.
Well, if you're around this sport long enough, you do tend to see all sorts of things. That's a really nice ball.
Yeah, that's a nice start.
I have to confess, my favourite to see is when somebody's driving and the jack splits. It's an absolute hoot.
Yeah, I've seen that a few times. started, decent line again. This will come down all the way, just needs to run. Yeah, good leading, well played. Generous applause from both skips.
Lorraine will want to get one in here, just help out her skip.
Just going to cut across the front. Oh, it's decent though.
Well, it's there, something potentially to use. Well, the suggestion is coming to us that it was indeed a wrong ball that she didn't play. Something to laugh about afterwards if you win the game.
Absolutely. Another nice ball coming in.
Ideally, you just want to come up, rest on the orange ball, a little nudge away.
Yeah, I'll just get a slight movement on the jack to the side. Just puts it in a slightly more difficult position. Alright, it's nice. Yeah, building nicely for Upper Cowal. See, Lorraine is directing Pauline down the backhand, the right hand side of the rink as we look back down. I think that's the perfect ball to play.
Oh, that is just unlucky.
I think that was the risk.
Yep.
Oh, I think there was a perfect ball to play there, but nothing else. I think down the other side, she would have a stop of her own. She could have, drawn nicely in to get a clean shot.
That is a great line. It's not there.
Again, nominating the perfect shot.
The danger of this hand is that players have been feeling it a little bit tight.
Yeah, and I think that's the danger. She could get dragged onto the front two balls and turn them in for additional shots. And we know that if you go too wide here, it will run pretty straight. Just giving it a chance. Does look like it's under though.
It is.
So, chance again for Helen, just a nudge on the jack. She can bring all the red balls in to the right hand side. She dropped in time.
She's trying to come round.
Just to bend quickly. Very, very well played. Very unlucky actually.
Yeah.
So, holding a... scared to see how many they're holding now after the last end, but it looks like a 3.
It's certainly pretty close. And well, Pauline wants to have a look before she'll have her final delivery.
And the problem now for Pauline is that you would suggest the forehand shot is now against her, because if she does play in there, she can jam the jack to the left hand side and she'd be worse off. Very difficult to make that better. So I think she'll stick to the backhand side and hope to drop off the wide bowl, perhaps cut it to 1. And again there's danger promoting the red balls in the front.
You can see the scoreboard across to our right hand side. I think the home club have made a bit of a comeback there. Right here we've got Pauline Harper, Spateston from Johnston. Needs to feel comfortable about the shot selection here.
She's under the line. She does not want to take her own two out at the back. She's in all sorts of trouble.
Doesn't want to touch that orange ball.
Wow.
Well, that was a heap of danger. There's 1, there's 2. Yeah, Helen McVicar's already saying just make sure you measure the rest. There's the 3rd.
It's probably them all, I think.
Well, it's a good little pick-up. Could have been better for Upper Cowal, could have been a lot worse for Spateston. Ladies pairs that got underway at 12:30. Whitburn and Wichurda. Wichurda leading by 3-1 after 3 ends. Dunning leading Dumfries 6-2 after 3 ends as well. Early action across the ladies' triples as well. Cumnock establishing a good lead against Lawrence Kirk. Townhill against Thurso also going one way at the moment. The fact of the 4 that started at 12:30 in the triples, only 1 match had both scored. That's Trinent and Kilmartin. We'll keep you up to date across these early days in those matches. Just did well. Well, 2 good balls from Eilich Simpson. This one's trekking.
Just needs to hang around.
There's a couple of good ends, Lorraine Tait, but she's struggling coming this way.
Yeah, you can see, you just got to look at those bowls there. You can see the variation in line, that Lorraine's had across, 4 bowls. 2 well tight, 1 really quite wide, and one on the money. So, she would probably do well to switch to the other side. It's a bit more forgiving, albeit it's a nice swing that they just need to trust the hand and put it out there. If they let their opponents dominate on this swinging side, they'll soon find themselves in all sorts of trouble.
It's going to drift to the side.
See a thing, unfortunately.
Well, it is.
Yeah, but you can see how, I talked about that side being forgiving. She wasn't really too wide there, but it didn't go too far. Whereas this forehand side, if you miss the line tight, it almost finishes in the side.
Well, at the moment, Helen McVicar simply just has to keep popping them in here.
Yeah, it's anything to a yard as a shot. As long as she's up, she's close.
Yeah, it's going to come through again. And because there's gaps, it's not the easiest thing to stop upon. That does not have the weight, I think, to hold it up. Well, again, just draw away. Be a bit canny. Yep, that's all red.
This is 2 ends in a row. Your Upper Cowal have played this ditch side and absolutely dominated it.
She's had a few good saving balls, but that one is not going to be added to that roll call. And there's a score coming here.
Yeah, this is a game changer.
2, 3, 4. I think there's a 5th one.
Yeah.
Looks like a starfish there. 5 points. 5 shots. Well, how a game can change, Colin. 5 apiece 2 ends ago, but I think people have been watching along with us on the live stream. Upper Cowal have held the upper hand. It was just a question when they were going to score big, because if either pair's been in a position to do so, it has been them.
Yeah, it has indeed, and maybe no complete surprise to anybody that's been watching the stream all week is that once a team seems to settle on this ditch side, then they start to build really solid heads, and if Spateston don't start to match them down there, then I think they'll find themselves in a lot of trouble. Maybe a bit fortuitous there. carrying a bit of weight, but picked up a clean jack.
Again, as often been the case, the weight hasn't been overly bad.
Just needs to make sure she doesn't underplay this one. Just maybe give herself a bit of a fright with the first one, playing it, you know, quite so heavy and picking the jack up on the way by. The danger is you overcorrect, but she hasn't done that. She's played 2 cracking opening bowls.
That's terrific stuff. Oh, come on down again. How about that? Sporting 2.
Take a bow. There's a few people on the feed asking for scores from other games. We'll give you them when we've got them. We can actually only see what you can see, so we're sitting in front of a monitor, the same as most other people. So if we get them through, then we'll definitely give you an update at the end of this end as much as we possibly can.
You're watching the ladies pairs. Upper Cowal against Spateston on rig A1. 13 plays 5. I can't tell you next door Prestwick, who were 7-0 down, now lead by 9 shots to 7. That's a good effort at the end from Lorraine Tait. But other scores are coming into us and we'll update you. But what a terrific end of bowls that was. Actually not too bad from both players, but look at Eilich Simpson, absolutely thrilled. That's a great 4.
Yeah, it's a great end. Skip will be delighted with that, but equally a great last bowl there from Lorraine, which keeps them in play, gives Pauline something to play up to. But the first chance goes to Helen to try and add another. If she can reach that back bowl, I'm sure she would be absolutely delighted. This again just needs to run. I think she's very, very good.
Oh, how about that? No, she's very good. It's almost the main one. That must look pretty horrible for the mat. It's off centre, 3 bowls. Bowl, jack, bowl.
Yeah, it really needs cleared out, to be honest. It needs to be played clean through. You're unlikely to draw that. Meantime, Helen just needs good weight just to add another. It's even harder now. This needs, if you've got the power, this just needs burst open, to be honest.
Easier said than done, but I think this is worth a real dig at. Under.
Yeah, I think Helen will just try and repeat the dose. Nothing for short. She's picked a good line again. How's your weight? Needs the orange bowl. Oh.
Doesn't stay in the rink. Would have been nice just to get a touch off. Lorraine's bright bowls, but not to be.
Pauline changing down the forehand. A bit firmer. This could go really quickly. She's getting a contact though.
That held an awful lot more.
Oh, that's a game changer. That's a real game changer, because she's now given herself an opportunity to change that completely.
Well, if it was a 2-point plan, point one, bring it out, and it was a great ball. And all of a sudden you're thinking to yourself, you're lying 5 or 6. And your opponent turns you around, and there's a potential count as well. If this does not come in...
She's played a cracker here, just perhaps a fraction short. So, choice, Pauline. Either hand, she's looking for a nice contact on either the bowl or the jack. Poking the jack through could yield a count. She's got to play it down the floor, doesn't she, Paul? She's got to. It's the best opportunity, perhaps, to come off the slightly wide one and a contact on the jack. If it either springs to the right hand side or right through the back.
Yes, I'm with you. I think it's a forehand shot. I think there's a little bit more options.
Yeah, 1, possibly 2 down. The danger, if there is one, is that she's tight and takes her own 2 back balls out. But we'll see. Just give it a chance.
Well, her third ball was good. How's her fourth?
It's through the gap, I think.
Oh, that's so lucky. Well, there's one out. And they'll get an umpire, but I think what that did, Colin, was keep her pair in the game.
Yeah, she was. I mean, I know it's early days, but you know, if she dropped a 5 or a 6 there, then you know it's game over, really, isn't it? You know, you'd hope to manage that out from that position. Of course, the game's never over, you know, until it's mathematically impossible. But yeah, I think she's so far saved the game. But 1 out, measure for 2, still going to be a bit of an uphill battle.
I mean, it's not often that you lose back-to-back 5s and come back and win a game. I mean, I know there's a long way to go, but that's what they were looking at, and what a horrible deficit that would have been to try and overcome.
Yeah, I think at the minute the problem is the Spateston pair. They don't look like scoring a multiple. It can change, of course it can, but at the minute, the last few ends, it looks like Upper Cowal have just started to play the rink a bit better. They've found the consistency. They've realised that going on the ditch side is going to yield much more consistent heads and a much more consistent finish. So they're going to take a 10-shot advantage now.
Well, there's potentially 5 against them, so to drop just 2, but it's been a very expensive 3 ends. We've gone from 5 apiece to 15-5. 7 ends to play.
Yeah, it's been 5 ends on the bounce, hasn't it? It's been a run of 1-1, 3-5, 2, and that's just given them some space. So 10 up.
Well, the gents pairs are also ongoing at the moment. A couple of close games, couple of less close games. Markinch and Kelty, 6-5 to Markinch at the moment. Poglia against Craigie, 10-2. Oakbank are trailing Troon Portland, but they've narrowed that just a single shot after 9 ends. It's 8-7 Troon Portland lead. That's Paul Foster this year.
Indeed.
Playing
Paul
in the
Foster,
pairs.
Colin Howie.
Good pair. And Paul Mays lead Pollock Shaws 14-5 after 10 ends.
Just quickly go through the gents 4s up on green B. So Kickenzie and Port Seaton, which is Derek Oliver's 4, playing against Jazz Hogs Carrick now 4. Kickenzie and Port Seaton lead that one 10 shots to 3 after 9 ends. On B3 we have Deantown against Port Glasgow, and Deantown lead 9-7, again after 9. And B4, we have Quarter against St Athens, Quarter lead 10-4 after 9 ends. And finally on B5, Castle Douglas hold a 9-5 advantage over Stonyburn Community.
What a beautiful part of the country this is. Lovely shots of the National Bowling Centre here in Ayr. And these National Championships of 2025 continue. Nice opening ball from Lorraine Tait. What she needs to do is get back-to-back good balls and help get her pair back into this game. If you do get the chance to come down to these championships, I'd highly recommend it. It's a nice ball, great atmosphere, and lots of great food and beverage options. There's a wonderful tent that's got loads of bowling equipment. I was in earlier chatting, certainly better. I have to say I was tempted by a new pair of bowling shoes. Didn't actually quite complete the purchase because I had to come back here, but I'm very, very tempted.
Well, I'm sure if any of the retailers are listening to this, they will be knocking down the door looking for your credit card.
As long as I don't have to show them my existing shoes, which are probably the most embarrassing pair of bowling shoes in the country. I think Noah wants them back. We touched on this the other day, but it is amazing how the sport's changed in terms of equipment. If you didn't have brown shoes, going back a while, people would look at you funny.
Yeah, brown shoes progressed to white shoes, and you see all sorts of kind of colours now. Really, quite refreshing.
I think Lorraine Tait does win the prize for best bowls of the week, bright orange.
You're going to see another set of bright orange in the next game, because Abby Harris also plays with bright orange bowls. So this head shaping up slightly better for the Spateston pair. However, I think one good delivery could ruin that from Helen. Any move on the jack is a positive one. Wow.
Oh, how did that get through there?
Well, there you go. Who would have called that?
I'm not even sure that was actually. Is it the Matrix? I'm still not sure how she got through there.
I think if the guys are able, that's probably worth another look at some stage.
I'd certainly love to see that one again. And then on another day you find a gap.
Yeah, I think the important thing here for the Upper Cowal players, they don't want to go too defensive, but the way the head is set up, it doesn't look like they're in danger of losing a whole load of shots, and that's what they'll be quite happy with. Really waving this one in, but if this one gets the same action as the last delivery, it will finish sideways. If the scoreboard on the next rink is to be believed, then it looks like the Prestwick pairing have moved into a 12-8 lead over Busby.
Now, Colin, what have you got? Don't take that one. Oh. It's called down Helen to come and have a look.
I don't know if playing at that pace perhaps indicates that the Upper Cowal pair hold shot. Not sure.
Yeah, she can play onto that black ball. There's a little bit of weight knocked through the orange out. There's all sorts of possibilities here.
If she does hold shot, she won't want to turn the orange one in.
Yeah, that's the danger.
And again, if she does have shot against, then I think Pauline has the best two back bowls. So is it worth covering that? Can't see a thing.
Comes all the way through to the back and covers that ball. Not be quite the intention, but it's a decent second prize. Let's see from the way the scoreboard is moving. It's a little bit blustery out there.
It's only going to come down with dead weight. Yeah, did draw the shot. Wow. That nearly turned and went back up the rink, didn't it, when it came down there?
I think it had its indicator on as it came down. It's a nice little run of ends for Upper Cowal. The winners will face Prestwick or Busby in the semi-final. Whitburn, Dunning and Dumfries, no sure doubt. The other four still in this competition. A little bit too much of a push that time. Just hanging on in there.
Again, out on a pretty reasonable line. A great adjustment on weight.
Oh, we're not far off the 100-minute mark in this one.
It's a nice adjustment too.
Part of the game that's sometimes overlooked is the length of time. You know, you've got to be mentally alert, you've obviously got to be physically alert. You know, I know certainly at the highest level there's a lot more about nutrition, what you eat, how you eat it, when you eat it. I'm sure it was it Glasgow 2014, you know, certainly the nutrition side of it for the Scottish players, you'd sometimes see them a bit of fruit during the game just to keep the levels up?
Yeah, definitely overlooked, and at certainly at international level, it's something that the players are reminded of, and excuse me, even educated on quite regularly. Again, coming back to the under 18 series just a week or so back, these players are playing 4 sessions of just over 2 hours in a day, so it's 8 hours of bowls, which is mentally and physically quite draining, and they need to make sure that they take on enough fluid, and they eat properly, which, as you can imagine, for a group of under 18s was challenging.
Yeah, you'll take the chocolate over the banana, but you've basically got to be able to power yourself up. 3 tremendous bowls there, by the way, from Eilich Simpson after popping her first in the ditch. And actually, it's not a bad response from Lorraine either.
No, it's not, but they are dominating now on this side, and we kind of thought that's how this might play out. Don't know how many times we've said it this week, so we must sound like a broken record, but if you get on that side, then you have a chance to dominate. You will be far more consistent down that side of the rink.
Just a final touch on the nutrition. You often see if it starts at the top of the sport, it does work its way down. You see football at the moment, footballers get these little sachets thrown onto them in the field, little bit of an energy boost, and so that, you got to go back. I think it was in the 50s that Gatorade was invented in Florida. The drink that then gave the hometown Gators the advantage, and everybody then copied it. So it's just about what can help you, keep you mentally alert.
Yeah, those, most players, kids included, they tend to go through an awful lot of water, through games, and I guess if you go back maybe 2 or 3 years, they might have preferred an energy drink, at the back of the rink, but we've got them off that, got them on water, which is much better for them, and then we're getting much better about asking players what do they want as a snack, and try and guide them in the right direction based on what's best for them.
Again, dropping tight, that is the problem with that hand. If you come underneath, you will pull.
Yeah, I think Helen would do quite well to try and, if you see the two, it's hard to explain, but perhaps the blue ball just above Eilai's, where Eilich was standing. There's a ball adjacent to the right hand side. I think if Helen could split those two, then she takes away a whole load of danger at the back. Doesn't want to drop a 3 or a 4. If she drops a 1, happy days, you manage the game away, but dropping a 3 or a 4 would definitely encourage the Spateston pair. Probably just to ignore the head. Yeah, you can add another, but I think the danger is in the back left hand corner.
It'll come to the point where Pauline Harper will have to just try and take action, running out of ends.
Yeah, Pauline could attack this down the backhand. Very difficult shot to play, but she can attack it. If she gets the jack, even if she takes it to the ditch, she's got a chance of making 2. And with a couple of reasonable contacts, she could just about take the 3 balls out of the head. Body language said she didn't like that.
Yeah, just going under. It's going to be 3, I suspect. Three shots. On the last 7 ends, 14 shots taken in that time, and the lead is now a commanding one. 5 ends to play, 14 the difference.
It's a big ask now. So again, they'll look to just manage this game away, not dropping any more than singles, and that should see them safely into the next round.
Well, there may be a comfort break in operation. So plenty of action all over the 5 greens here. You can see the complex with the hospitality as well. Good crowd, all the greens getting good views today. Well, sometimes you think people can't get enough of the game.
Yeah, in the middle of your picture there with the sunglasses on her head is Megan Sproat sitting beside her dad, taking in the game. Well, she was in the middle of the screen.
Paul Foster there. Well, what a player Paul Foster is, and continues to search for titles. Bumped into Paul earlier on today. Just keep going, keep enjoying it. Just loves his bowls. A little bit chillier today. Oh, the ice cream van's still doing a roaring trade. A real nice mix of people.
Certainly is. Liam McCloy sat there, under 25 cap.
Is there anyone you don't know?
The ice cream man.
Ah, right. See, there's a relationship you need to build.
Networking.
In your role as developing younger players and things, it is really satisfying then to see them come on and develop and play well in competitions like this.
Yeah, to be fair, we only really see them at international competition or squad days or assessment days. So I think the credit for bringing players on has to sit with coaches and family and even themselves, because they need to drive their own performance. They need to find the right level of competition to allow them to stay competitive and improve their own game. So Yeah, we bring them together and we allow them to play and perform at international level, but you know the credit really for the development of these players has to sit somewhere else. You know, there are people in the background who put in an awful lot of work into, you know, youth and young players and their development. So yeah, I think that's where the credit has to lie. It doesn't really sit with us.
I get that, but there's also being able to take that and move it up to the next level and use, you know, the expertise of yourself and people like you trying to build as Scottish Bowls continues to look to be strong.
Possibly, I think at youth and definitely at under 25 level too. I think we've brought some really good experienced players in to help us. You know, we've got Julie Forrest who does a power of work at under 18s, and the players look up to her. You know, they respect her from a playing perspective. I've got a slightly different role in that, and equally at under 25, we've got Ian McLean in the group, and therefore, you know, he and Julie are in that under 25 group. So the players look up to them from a playing perspective, and they add quite a lot to, you know, to the under 25 camp when that gets pulled together. So yeah, grateful to them for being involved and the time that they put in.
You're watching coverage of the National Championships 2025 from air. So another extended comfort break would appear to have come to an end. Now we'll get underway again. 5 ends to go maximum. And Upper Cowal certainly enjoying the upper advantage so far. As we're underway once more. It's just tracking through. Well, you can see Eilich Simpson really finding her form. Well, she thinks she's not quite sent it, she hasn't quite. Under. Once again, you can see this head developing in favour of Upper Cowal. This just needs good weight, it will come back. Most of this just not running out of steam, but then when you hold, and you hold quite a commanding lead, then you know they're not the worst bowls in the world. That's tracking. And I know that Eilich Simpson and Helen McVicar won't be taking anything for granted, but they're playing in a relatively pressure-free quarter-final. It doesn't happen too often. They'll respect their opponents obviously, but it is nice just to be able to relax that little bit.
After about the fifth end, they really settled into the better rhythm of the two, and you can see that it's the Spateston pair who are having to chase the game really. Again, this is a difficult head for Pauline to play into. Helen will just try and drop more balls in round those front ones. She won't want to move the front ones. She won't want to give Pauline a look at this. She'll just be concentrating here, I think, on if she can get good weight, then she can just keep piling balls in there, and you know, if that's the case, this one could be over quite quickly. Big effort though.
Got a chance.
Middled the jack. Yeah, well done. Very well played.
Well, it puts a whole new complexion on it, and the orange ball at the back is pretty helpful.
So forehand all the way round to the orange ball if she can.
Say that's the hand I would play. I think it's open. It might not be the better hand, but I think I'll be looking to get another ball in just to make sure.
She can afford to beat the length in it as well, Paul.
Yeah.
Just give this a great try. Is she running?
That with just a little bit more pace.
This clears the front. It's gone under.
Yep.
Helen will be looking to be down that forehand, sit the orange one away for two. I think she's pulled it under two.
I'm just going to be careful this doesn't bagatelle against her.
Carrying a bit of weight. Oof. Well,
That's brought an extra ball in. Extra red ball.
don't have any strong indication as to who holds. Needs to miss the front one. Well,
Oh, how about that for a nice little result?
she may have made a couple out of that.
Well, to actually get both bowls there was pretty impressive.
Yeah, I don't think any of us saw that coming. One conceded.
Well, one out. Well, that was a great result.
Yeah, it was. Probably fraught with a bit of danger. If she had been a fraction wider, she may well have taken her own out. She could easily have promoted the front one onto the jack. But as it is, they stopped the rot and get themselves back onto the card.
On the rink next door, Prestwick are leading Busby. They were 7-0 down, they're 12-8 up. It's been a good turnaround.
Looks like it's maybe just one. Let's see. Yeah.
It has been a while, but they're back on the card.
So 13 shots to deficit, 4 ends to play.
Some light latest on the gents pairs. Mark Inchley after 8 ends, but they're behind after 12 against Kelty. Kelty leading 13-8 after other ends. Spogliat leading Craigie 14-4. Oakbank trail Troon Portland after 13 ends, 13-9, and Polly's is Pollock Shaw's 15-6. Played nearly 2 hours in this one. As Colin mentioned, 4 ends to play if 4 are needed.
Nice opener from Eilich Simpson. Quite good again, just a fraction under the perfect line, but as we mentioned so many times this week, it's important not to let perfect get in the way of good. Both players with pretty decent deliveries. Very similar line to the last two. Well played.
No, it's absolute consistency.
Well, I think Pauline just changing her to the other side. Decent line. How's your weight? That orange bowl, Eilich. No, she can't. Not a disaster though.
Well, if you're Pauline Harper, you're looking to move the jack just slightly to the 2 bowls. It's not just about getting a single now, you've got to start to look to see 3s or 4s if you're going to get yourself a little chance.
Well down, searching for a contact on the orange bowl. She's a bowl tight, no more.
I have to confess, I'm not 100% sure what the result Pauline's looking for from that shot.
I can see the intent. I think the intent is to move the jack to the back left-hand corner of the rink. Whether that's achievable on that side or not, I don't know. It may be achievable now because the contact has just changed there. She might be able to push the orange one now onto the jack to get the result.
I think now I see it, but before I think it was just there was too much work to be done.
The risk, however, is that the way that hand plays is that it dives under at the death and she slices the jack the wrong way.
Well, she's given it a chance. She's not
got enough weight.
Yeah, it's the weight there.
It needs to be a bit more aggressive on the play. But the Cowal pair would do very well to cover the back corner of the rink.
Well, you're just trying to guard against losing a 5 or a 6 somewhere along the line.
Wow. Yeah, I'm just struggling with this shot choice, to be honest, but the bowl is actually going to finish in a really good place.
Yep.
So that's where, in my view, I think that's where the play was, to try and cover the back. So by hook or by crook, that's been achieved. I still don't think she's aggressive enough on the line. Now, nice chance. Almost kill the game, I think, down this side. Just needs good weight. Needs to drop a fraction. Still contact available to her.
Has that changed it or not?
I think so. Gets one.
One shot. Well, when you're defending a big lead, drop a couple of singles, no big deal. 12 up, 3 to play.
It's game management from here on in. You've got to manage it to ones, and that's where the risk in that particular end was in the back left-hand corner of the rink, which, as I said, they managed to cover, albeit perhaps not deliberately.
Well, the game has largely lacked jeopardy for Upper Cowal.
Another nice opening bowl from Eilich Simpson.
Well, there's a bit of drama unfolding in the commentary box. Someone has brought in a pizza, I think purely to taunt Colin and I, who are unable to eat during commentary. I have to say, it looks delicious.
Don't know about that, speak for yourself.
I'm now flying solo. Colin has decided pizza is the way to go. Well played again.
Yeah, he's not really given Lorraine much of a sniff. Yeah.
Again, that's the right idea. That hand's available.
She's set that out on a good track. Can't quite see the weight. It's coming off it now. Decent line. Just willing this on, I think.
Not quite there.
A little bit room still down that side for Helen. Round the front, orange bowl is an ideal line for her.
Well, Helen McVicar, familiar face around these parts, 16 times in different disciplines in the national championships. Senior singles, mixed pairs, final of the two bowl pairs in 2007, and the semi-finals of senior singles back in 2013. First time at the national championships for Pauline Harper. Scottish pairs runners up, 2024 finalists, 2025. It's her big sister Lorraine and her love for the game. Dirty arm round there.
Upper Cowal holding a couple of shots. Helen's just overgreened that.
Good place.
Yeah, you feel Pauline she has to change this some way, some shape, otherwise a drop of two puts them 14 shots behind with 2 ends to play, and I wonder if we would just see a handshake. In fact, she doesn't want that one because that's now 3. Yeah, handshake at the bottom end, no need to take the game any further. So it's Upper Cowal who progress to the next round.
Yeah, sporting play. It's been a tough old shout for Spateston's pair of Lorraine Tait and Pauline Harper. Eilich Simpson got into a groove. Helen McVicar used their experience just to add the shots where required. And it's a semi-final place for the pair from Upper Cowal, Sandbank in Dunoon, based on the Holy Loch, and they're not too far from the Holy Land of a final. We'll see if they can get there. Do join us again for what will be a terrific ladies quarter-final. Megan Sprott against Abby Harris. All the action coming up here at 3:30. But for now, see you soon.